The customer list is where you go when you are looking to find an existing customer that's been created in Mr. Mover, or you want to create a new customer. The list is comprised of columns that allow you to see information about a customer that you're looking for. You have the ability to sort the customer list by the different columns simply by clicking on the column. You'll notice that the little arrow shows up when you click on it. You can click either up or down to sort it either ascending or descending. The last two columns, we give you the ability to change what shows up in those columns. If you right click on the header, we give you a list of other fields that we can show within that column. By selecting on a specific item, it will now show the email address for this customer. You have that ability for the last two columns only. These changes only apply to the customer that you the computer that you're working on. So if you do it on yours, it will not affect someone else's customer list. We also supply you with a go-to field, and that is used where you can start typing in what you're looking for, and we will bring you to that particular record within the customer list. Depending on what column you have highlighted, in other words, we're on file as name right now, it says file as name go to. If I click on move date column, it will change it to the move date is not a column that you use the go to, but if you click on email, you'll change the go to email, job status, work order. So it's another way that you can find a customer simply by clicking on this field and typing in, start typing. It's going to bring you to the record that you're looking for in the list. Another way to change what you see in the customer list is by determining what job statuses you'd like to show. So on this table right here, you see all the different job statuses. You have a button here that says uncheck all, and then you can just select the ones that you want to see, and it will only show those job statuses in the list. We have the same feature with the moving companies. You can check which moving company you want to show on the list. Also, if you, as a salesperson, I only want to see my customers, I can check my name and it'll only show the customers where I am the salesperson. Another way that we allow you to filter what's shown in the customer file are the tabs down below here. Right now I'm currently on the All Customers tab. You can tell I'm on that because the lettering is in red. But if I only want to see local moves, I can click on this tab, interstate or intrastate, storage customers. Checked out files only apply if you are running Mr. Mover in the Go Mobile mode. That means that you are taking a laptop or a tablet PC out to the customer's house. You have the ability to check out customer files and take that customer file out to the customer's house. The Active Claims tab will show you all the customers that currently have open claims. The Archive tab is where you'll go whenever you're looking for an older customer. This software automatically will move customer files from the current customer list to the archived customer list after the move date is 3 months in the past. Now that 3 months number can be changed by you in your system settings, but the default is 3 months. So once that move has been completed, 3 months after the move date, it will automatically get moved over to the archive. So if you're looking for a customer that moved with you a year ago, you must click on the Archive tab. Now, one of the differences with the Archive tab is because this list is going to get huge, as you use the software over the years, there will be thousands and thousands of customers in here. It would take too long for us to build the list automatically every time you go into it. So what we do is we leave the screen blank and we expect you to type in the go-to field the customer name that you are looking for, and as you begin typing, the list will build based on what you're looking for. Once you find the customer that you're looking for, it's important to keep in mind that you are looking at a customer record as an example, a year ago, and if this customer wants to move again, you do not want to change the existing customer file. You want to make a copy of it and make a new customer file for the next move that he's doing. Do not change the archive file. Keep that one as it is. Now, if a estimate was moved over to archive because you gave the estimate 6 months ago and the customer never got back to you, now they call you, you do have the ability to make that custom file unarchived simply by right-clicking on the name. You'll see the option in the drop-down menu where you can convert it from archive back to the active customer list. The last tab is the Memorize tab. You use that whenever you create a template of a customer's file. You have the ability to memorize it so that if you are doing work for the same customer over and over again, instead of retyping information all the time, you can memorize a customer's file and it will show up in this memorized list so that you can simply go to it, double click on it, it'll create a new order based on the template that you've created. Now, a couple other features that we offer. Let's go back to our All Customers tab here so we see Sally. You'll notice that along the top you can highlight Sally with one click and click the open button. That'll open up her file, or you have the ability to make copies of Sally's file, different options that you have. You can delete the Sally's file, but we do have restrictions when it comes to deleting. You can only delete a file that has a job status of lead received or quoted. That way someone can't accidentally delete a booked move or a scheduled job or a completed job. We recommend that the only time you should be deleting a customer file is someone accidentally made a duplicate of it. But if a customer does not book with you or they cancel, that record should stay in the system and not be deleted, because that way we can give you closing ratios for your company and closing ratios for the salespeople. And you have a record of all the transactions in case the customer ever comes back to you for some reason. The check-in, check-out button is used, again, if you are planning on taking the software, taking a computer out to the customer's house, you want to check out that customer's file from the main server and put it onto the tablet PC. You would check it out by clicking this button. The export button is a little different in that you have the ability to export a customer's file to a salesperson that might be out on the road or at home, and you want to send him this customer file while he is running mobile so that he can work on the file or do an estimate the next day. Or if you are using IGC, TechMate, let me think, there might be a couple other ones. If you're using other third-party software and you need to export the customer's information to that third-party software, you can click the export button. It'll bring up a window which will show you a list of options on where to export it. The auto refresh checkbox is by default checked, and what that means is anytime you go to the customer list tab, we will automatically refresh the list with any new customers that another employee might have added in another copy of Mr. Mover. The reason we give you this option is because if you uncheck it and you are sorting through the customer list, it will keep you at that same spot, so you don't have to continually go back to that same customer if you're doing work. So there are times where the auto refresh can be unchecked and it'll just save you from having it always refresh it. But by default, I would leave it checked so that you make sure that you're always seeing the latest customer list. The type define checkbox, that is used when your customer list is taking longer to load than you'd like because there's so many names in there. By checking the type defined box, we will not build this list till you start typing something in the go to box. Then we will build a list, just like in the archive. It works just like the archive, where you will not see anything in the list until you start typing in the go to. It will make your customer list build much faster, so that every time you go to the tab, it doesn't have to build that list for you. You just it'll come up blank, it'll come up very fast, and you just type in the name that you're looking for. So I'll just put that back so I can see Sally. We offer a print list if for some reason you want to print the list that you've got created here. And then we also offer a refresh button. In case you do not have the auto refresh on, you can click the refresh button. Or if you've been in this screen for quite a while and you just want to make sure you're seeing the latest version, because the list will not refresh automatically unless you flip between tabs. Within the columns, you do have the ability to resize them. If, for instance, you see my email address doesn't show up all the way, you can put your cursor on there and drag it a little bit bigger so you can see the same thing. It will leave it until you restart Mr. Mover, then it'll resize it. You also have the ability at any time to right-click on a customer's file, and it will give you a lot of different options that you see as buttons. You can open it, you can copy, you can delete, you can check in, check out, export. We also show you the origin and destination address for this particular customer. And the reason we do that is because for those of you that do a lot of work for the same customer, if you're looking for a particular record, the origin and destination address might help you determine if this record that you're looking at is the one that you want to open.